Hello and welcome to another update on ADA. Yeah, the ADA chart continues to be in this correction. Yesterday we were witnessing the start of a potential B wave that might actually have formed as a running flat, which would be a bit concerning because that would be quite bearish. But then again, B waves can become quite complex and it might actually still be unfolding. So I'm talking about this B wave here. Yeah, the resistance certainly is holding, and the idea is still that we should get at some point this C wave leg down. So basically the correction is unfolding right now, and it might extend a little bit more. There is at least absolutely no sign that this correction is over. Let me take you through the structure from the April low. By the way, in yesterday's video, I covered the chart in a little bit more depth. So if you're interested in the bigger picture, daily chart and so on, feel free to check out yesterday's video in case you are new to the channel. But yeah, the overall idea is that a C wave of a triangle might have completed, might have completed on the 7th of April, and the move to the upside is overlapping, slow. It's not impulsive, okay? So that makes me consider this move as a WXY structure in a triangle. Ultimately, it's important to understand that when we're dealing with corrective structures, there are a lot of different, let's say, there are a lot of different scenarios available, back-to-back corrective price action. Then even in a triangle, which is a correction itself, we're dealing with a D wave, which is a correction, and then the D wave itself is the WXY, which is a complex correction. Again, so you see how difficult it can be to track here the, let's say, most likely scenarios. Still, though, the Elliott wave rules and guidelines, they guide us to come up with the most probable scenarios. And if you recall already, like a week ago or so, I explained to you that, not a week, a few days ago, that this move to the upside looks technically quite full with that 5-wave move up. I think it was already technically full here on Saturday, the 10th. It pushed higher once more, but overall, the pullback was due. This pullback seems to be unfolding now, and the first support area we're watching is located between 74.6 and 68 cents. I can actually remove the upper section. Always try to keep the chart as clean as possible. But this would be the support area. Then in addition to that, we can watch the channel. So we're moving in an ascending price channel at the moment. And the price has so far found support at the lower boundary. Fibonacci support levels, as I said, 74.6, 72, and 68.6 cents. They are the next ones to watch. And any break below 68.6 cents would suggest that a wider correction is actually underway. So that would then open the door to a test of the May low at around 64.3 cents. Would be quite likely that this will then break, because a decisive break below the 78.6 retracement does exactly that. Yeah, it basically tells us that that we're likely going to invalidate the pattern. Okay, the 78.6 Fib is a very, very important Fibonacci level. Yeah, and as I said, a break below opens the door to a much larger correction that could potentially even break below 64.3 cents. That's the concern there. But then again, this would just be the next step to confirming a larger correction is unfolding. What would be support then? Well, below the May low, the 51 cent level becomes key support, because that is the support level and invalidation point for the entire triangle pattern that started likely in January. Yeah. So in the very short term, I'm still considering a wider B wave bounce could start here. The resistance area has not changed since yesterday. It's still between 78.7 cents and 84.9 cents. So I'm considering we might still see a wider B wave, absolutely possible. Would prefer that, because the higher the B wave, the more the higher the B wave, the higher the likelihood that support will actually hold. Now, for now, all I can tell you is the local downtrend is still unfolding. Local downtrend is still unfolding. No sign of a low in place for circle wave B or wave 2. It would be good to see a wider B wave though, but I can't promise it. Already in yesterday's update, I posted it specifically on X in the ADA update. B waves are chameleon-like. They are hard to tell which pattern it's gonna take, which pattern it's gonna going to form. And at the moment, it's formed a potential running flat, which is very bearish because the internal B wave of the B wave, so we talk here about the correction in the correction in the correction, did overshoot to the downside. That's quite concerning. That might mean that we might see a deeper correction, but we'll see how it plays out. Could still form a wider, larger B wave. The resistance ranges all the way up to 84.9 cents. But either way, the correction still seems to be unfolding, and I have no evidence at this point, even though we have a reaction to the 50% fib level, but nothing major yet. So yeah, I think over the weekend we might see further consolidation, bit of grinding in this range. 68.6 cents is really the main support that needs to hold to keep this scenario that we're tracking here alive. Below that level might need a bit of a reinterpretation. That's the update on ADA. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.